I don't remember much. I could be
Where
remembering
did
something
you go last night?
completely
Because
wrong.
you were missing for a while, and then you was back. I don't know.
Through all of this, there's multiple times where Mort
Oh
is like
well,
about to speak.
there's a hole in the bathroom. I had to check it.
Oh my god.
Let's go. Yeah.
And like Mort's trying to get
Come on, clip
a
that,
word
mate.
in like the whole way through from when
Did you
Zach
sniff it
said
or lick it first?
Oh.
Please say you did neither.
Neither.
Or you just
Oh.
put your eye to it.
What's with the dad joke in your stream title?
D&D Day equals D&D Yay.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear that. Sorry.
That was just me expressing my joy. Happy that it was D&D Day, especially after today. I'm looking forward to this big time. All right, so where we found ourselves. Last session, you guys found yourselves, or your party found yourselves, in a large, very full and bustling with food, booze, and bodies at the Griffin's Rest Inn. The one that you'd formerly been familiar with as you visited the basement or the beer cellar. You spotted Glimmer perched up on Gregory's shoulder, happily drinking beer with space for you to join her. And after heading to the bar for food and drinks, you met Victor Stoneheart, each of you. That was the dwarven bartender who mentioned to at least some of you that he was the chief brewmaster at the inn. And he was offering up his special brew, especially to Zach and Jake before they took on a more interesting challenge. He set each of you up with bottomless beers, the first two of you with bottomless beers and the largest meat tray he had available. And then the others he set up with huge bottomless bottles of a fruity yet potent liquor that turned out to be ominously called Dragon's Tongue. Jake initiated a drinking contest with the very willing Zach, and supported by Glimmer the Enabler, and going neck and neck through their bottles. Both Jake and Zach ended up thoroughly sozzled, with Jake slowing down, tortoise in the hairstyle, to let Zach catch up at one point. But in the end, this time the hair dashed to victory. Although victory in this instance involved both of you swallowing the fiery red lizard in your drink, belching a fireball, and having your tongue distend and transform into a long, thin, forked tongue that hung almost to your knees. Amidst all of this, you watched the recap of the last dungeon, which showed the death of Ivy and did not feature your team in a positive light at all. You also saw some harrowing encounters, including some people that you knew, with Team Meadowlark in deep, deep trouble in their dungeon. Alia joined in on the fun with the drinking at this point, leading to a very full, pot-bellied Phocyonis joining with a very drunk Mort to drag / carry all of you back to your respective private rooms before collapsing. And Alia, before semi-blacking out, had also partaken in the Devil's Tongue lizard drink. So where we find ourselves now, it's about 1 p.m. You drank through till dawn when Phocyonis was finally full, and the rest of you were well and truly full. Each of you wake to the familiar smell of greasy frying bacon, and thanks to the hero's feast, you find that you are remarkably hangover and alcohol or meat poisoning free. But that lack of a hangover doesn't help with some lost periods of time that three of you in particular have that you may need some help reconstructing, because there's some definite blank spots after the after the drinking of the lizard and the developing of a dragon's tongue. So what I'm going to do, and I'll start with you guys, and I'll bring Lily in when she gets here to see where Jake's up to, unless of course she snuck in without me realizing it again, like has happened. Yes, I just saw that she's there. But I don't have Lily up on OBS. That's why I hadn't seen her. So there it goes. It's come up and refreshed. That's why I wasn't seeing it. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully you caught enough of that, Lily, that I'm just going to go around, give you guys a chance to to let us know where your character woke up, where they find themselves. You all ended up in your rooms. Fokionis, though, was the only one with Mort who was conscious when that was happening, and the two of them positioned each of you as far as they could reach, essentially, into your rooms, not having yet extended invitations to each other, and you've all kept your private space private, as far as I and the rest of us are aware. So they could basically push their arms in and shove your feet in as comfortable as they could make you, but none of you made it to your beds, at least at the drop-off point, apart from Fokionis and his little meat belly. So I might start with you, Fokionis, as the one who is probably the most likely to have woken up the soonest, having imbibed the least food and the least drink but most food last night. So it's about 1 p.m. You've woken up to definite smells of bacon. Let us know where you find yourself and basically what you do from here till you exit your room, because I'll save some narrative time and get all of you exiting your room at the same time.
Right. So what I'm doing before I leave the room, even though I can smell bacon.
Well, you can walk straight out. It's just wherever you woke, like where do we find Fokionis at this point as he comes to consciousness, and what sort of state he's in, and state of body, state of mind, and what are you looking to do?
Let me see. So Fok wakes up, instantly feels his guts and goes, too much meat. Has a definite need for coffee. Remembers that he can get that need fulfilled probably at the same place that he smells bacon. And although the smell of bacon is quite overwhelming, not sure he's going to partake in bacon just at the moment. So he's going to head pretty much straight out.
All right. So Fokionis is just up and out, and definitely got a bit of the meat gurgles going on.
Had the meat
no
sweats.
worries.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
So I'll just moving along your cameras here. So I'll do Alia, then Jake, and then Zach. So Alia, where do we find you? So where you were deposited was essentially as gently as Mort could put you, curled up inside the doorway of the room that is essentially what you're in is a recreation of how you remember Ivy's room, but the last we know of you, you were curled up, passed out in just inside the entryway.
Okay, so she's gonna smell the bacon. Eyes not fully open. She's gonna smell it. She's gonna stand up, and because I'm pretty sure we used to live in like a studio apartment. She's not gonna really register, so she's gonna walk towards the smell, but clear straight into the fucking door.
Not opening it first. Yep.
Yeah, well, she's not really remembering. She's like fucking pissed as a fart. And once
Yep.
she she gets that fucking knock to the head, she kind of like sorts her shit out. So she'll grab the handle of the door, pull it open, and kind of like shuffle along. And then like with her like eyes half open, half closed, and just sink into one of the seats.
All right, so you're exiting your room, and just in case you missed it with the recap and with Lily just coming in, because of the Heroes Feast, you don't actually have any health after effects of the drinking. You have no alcohol poisoning, you have no hangover, because you are currently immune to the poisoning effects, obviously not the inebriating effects of the alcohol. So
But she's just like half asleep.
I know you're. I get it. I just wanted to let you all know that you're not actually. You're surprisingly sprightly. In terms of health wise, you should feel a lot worse than what you currently do. So next along we have Jake. Where and how do we find Jake after he was deposited as gracefully as Fokionis could at the end of the evening?
We find Jake curled up in what could only be described as a bowl. He is a mess. He is not in a very fun place right now. He has the top cover of his, Ivy's bed wrapped around him. You can still see dried trails for when he was definitely crying.
Mm.
But he is a little bit of a realist. He'll slowly like worm crawl his way out, stopping every once in a while because the struggle is real. Sometimes worms just give up and lie on the floor for a bit. And he'll
Yeah.
make it down eventually.
All
With the
right.
blanket, of course.
Oh, of course.
Hood up, wrapped around him.
All right. So as Jake worms his way towards the door, Zach, where and how do we find Zach this morning?
Yeah, Zach, it's on the floor. Like everyone else, going like waking up has like a tingling feeling in his tongue for some reason. I don't know where that's from.
Too much
Uh,
kissing.
Probably. Yeah, just goes cleans himself off a bit, because I don't think he's washed himself off since the cave. And yeah, so he goes into the cleaning room, washes his face, gets his gloves nice and white and everything, and yeah, just walks out and greets everyone.
All right.
So-
So as you're exiting with your various different points that you've woken up and into the just past the middle of the day, so as each of you come in your various different states. Some of you at ground level, some of you standing upright, some of you like rubbing bumps on your heads from walking into closed doors, and Zach just looking absolutely immaculate, whereas the rest of you, you don't look or smell your best. You've gone straight from a dungeon, and in Jake's case, being blown up into a massive bender, and at no point during any of that journey through the booze, and in Jake also laying on the floor under the table in the pub. Aside from Zach, who is just pristine, the rest of you are varying levels of worse for wear, at least in terms of your cosmetics at the moment. But as each of you come out through your respective doors, you can see that there's been a little bit of refurbishment happening in the safe room, and in one of the corners of the room near where you exited through the portal to Dungeon 2, there was a booth in one of the corners that's now been removed. And you guys can see Mort struggling and dragging and every now and then pausing and gagging, and holding in his and then he goes back to dragging this table along. It's very clear to each of you that he's heading towards where that space is that's been created, and he's very intent on moving this table / cabinet. It's almost got like an ethereal quality to parts of it. They're a little bit misty and ghost-like, and then other parts that are solid, and it definitely appears to be quite heavy, or at least heavy enough that it is causing him some struggle in his current state. But and you can smell from the kitchen, there's definite smells of the the Mort breakfast burger fare is well and truly underway. He's familiar with those smells, but each of you in your respective timings, just in the interest of brevity here, you come out to see Mort struggling through with this cabinet, intent on getting it down to the corner. So, well,
Do you want a
anyone
hand?
like to, or do you want to just watch your? Just say,
Yeah,
mm,
oh gee, want a
mhm.
hand? I try my best to like grab the opposite end of the table and sort of help him lift, push
Just
it.
for fun, because you went in first, can you give me a strength check? I want to see how this goes.
God damn it.
I'm hoping it's good.
Where am I? Yeah. All right. Strength. Oh god.
Yeah. I know, but I'm hoping you roll high.
Ah,
Oh,
Oh,
you have a -1. So the rest of you
17.
watch, and like some of you may have been thinking of helping, other just like, oh, this is too much for me to process at this point in time. But you see Zachary come over and like, oh, here we go. Like you've seen Zachary attempt feats of strength previously, and you've seen how that has gone. With the exception of Jake. Jake hasn't really seen Zach try and flex his muscles too much. But the other two of you, you've definitely seen him in action trying to lift, carry, move mirrors and poles and things in and out of holes. And you've seen that it's not necessarily his greatest quality, but just startlingly, including to Mort, who is about to go, and appears to maybe not wanting to trouble Zachary with this, but he just tilts it like there's some Albert Einstein shit flowing around his head at the moment as he just gets the fulcrum point right and the balance right, and he tilts the table at just the right angle, and it just slides in front of him almost as if it's on greased wheels down into the corner. And everybody, including Zach, is not entirely sure how he just accomplished that feat. But it's in place, and Zach can react, and the rest of you can react to that however you would like.
Yeah.
holy
That
fucking
was
shitballs.
easier than I thought it would be.
And Mort sort of falls up behind you a little bit, looks you up and down, and just sort of pushes on the table again to make sure, like almost like checking the weight, and it doesn't move. Like he's like, okay, and in between his kind of catching himself and like small sips of water that he's taking from his glass. You think it's water, definitely should be water. Explains to you guys that what he has purchased and provided for you guys is a ghost component table. So for any of you that have spells, he has actually purchased this for you that will allow you to collect essentially an ethereal version of any of your required spell components. They can't be sold or traded. They can't even be exchanged in amongst your group. But it will. His hope is that it will give you a leg up on other groups, especially after seeing the murder squad in action. That you should be able to take whatever you need to be able to cast and use any spells yourselves from that table. And Zachary, with your intelligence, you pick up that this is this is huge. This is an extremely high value thing. Like he's putting his eggs in Team Chaos basket with this. He's going all in on you guys with however he's managed to procure this cabinet. Fokionis, you've got no idea. Like it's just a
What egg
magic
in what
shit.
basket? It's
all good.
fucking table chest block thing. I don't get it. Do we throw that at someone? Like, what the fuck?
Shit. Like,
What's in that funny water there?
consider I'm the only one that casts spells on me and Alia, I guess.
I don't know. Did you not see me at the pub? I cast a spell over all them people.
You did.
Well, you got
Still
you
smell
fucking magic your way home, did you? No.
Exactly. Oh, thank you for that.
It's all good. Hey, Mort, have you got any of them strange, I don't know, what do you call them? Non-meat things? You know, they grow on the ground and, vegetables, them. I think I had lots of meat last night.
You see, Mort's
You need
like
bread.
about to.
Bread.
He
Is
had
bread good?
lubed
Bread,
meat,
yes.
I think. Yeah.
Can I toast bread? Wait, what?
Didn't you say it was lubed meat?
Mm,
Then you lubed it up with the drink after.
No, I did not lube anyone's
you
meat
didn't
last night.
lube anyone's. Or I Yeah, I don't remember much. I could be remembering
Where did
something
you go last night?
completely wrong.
You were missing for a while, and then you was back. I don't know.
Through all of this, there's multiple times where Mort
Oh,
is like
well,
about to speak.
there's a hole in the bathroom. I had to check it.
Oh my god.
Let's go. Yeah.
And like Mort's trying to get
Come on, clip
a
that
word
thing.
in like the whole way through from when
Did you
Zach
sniff it
said
or lick it first?
Oh.
Please say you did neither.
Neither.
Or you just put your eye to it.
through all of this, right from the start of that combo, Mort had gone to respond to Zach's initial thank you that Fokionis had just chipped in with a "you're welcome" and started off with his tirade, even bewilderingly. What's he sort of looking at, and then that whole ping pong of a conversation that just sprung up is the mouth open and closing like a goldfish, multiple, like eventually just waits, sits down, drinks it. Yes, vegetables, sure.
Thank you.
And then
You forgot.
looking at looking at Zachary, like, I'm gonna try this again. You're welcome. May not do too much for your group now, but it would have been good for the lass. And he sort of has like there's a little bit of a downcast expression, but then he takes a breath and keeps going through. Never know what the future may hold for your party. This will stay. So you've got access to that. And in a reality sense, like if anyone decided to multi-class, or heaven forbid, someone gets stabbed with a crit in the dark and doesn't make it again, or anything else might happen,
You could
may well
hide
have
in
some
the
other
closet.
magic
That's
here.
fucking messed up.
Oh, we could multi-class. I could get fireball.
Oh god.
Hey, there you go. Now that's an above the table thing. I mean, that's entirely up to you guys. I just need to know that you're doing it. That's it. So with that, Mort sort of heads back towards the kitchen, and you can hear some like banging and rustling and opening and closing of things. But after about 5-ish minutes, he comes out and having listened to you guys last time about not having like everything pre-made into a burger, he starts just sliding out onto the counter all of these different trays where there is like your Macca's Hungry Jacks buns for your breakfast, your brekkie burgers, but they like the muffin buns. There's hash browns, there's bacon, there's eggs, and then kind of looking strangely at Fokionis, there's a plate, and on the plate, about half of it is just like a pile of they're clean, but a pile of carrots. Like he got you something that came out of the ground, and the other half of them are actually like carrot on a stick that has been deep fried. So you've got you literally got some potato hash browns that came out of the ground, and then you've got carrot on a stick. Do with that as you, and the coffee and the rest of those things that are there for you guys to self-serve. They've been persisting every morning that you've actually, or every day that you've spent in the safe room, and the rest of it looks essentially all of the same as what it was. At the moment you can't see B1 or B2 or Ward or Manta. Neither of them are currently in the safe room. As best you can tell. You certainly didn't wake up with any of them in your room. I believe Jake had extended Jake didn't extend an invite to them because Jake went to sleep with them in the booth. Never mind. So no, they didn't have
incorrect.
You did extend the invite?
Has been in there when we talked about his family.
Correct. Thank you for that. So yes, I should have just went with what I said the first time. Jake did extend the invite, but Jake, when you woke, there was no one else in your room but you. So they don't appear to be here, as best you can tell. Unless, of course, they're in the bathroom, I guess. I'm just watching you guys do the animations.
Whoa. Lily got transition stingers. I like it.
So
Sorry,
what
I've
you guys
been
are...
setting things up.
Yeah, no, you're right. What you guys are also aware of, in terms of timers, on the screen in the safe room is a screen that's split in half, and on one side is a countdown timer. Where previously there was like a dungeon collapse, or there would have been a dungeon collapse, that's gone. The 6 hours till the collapse of Dungeon 2 has passed, so people have either made it or they haven't at this point. And there is a 6-hour countdown on to the opening of the next dungeon.
So that's 12 hours total, or the 6 hours are running concurrently?
There are 6 hours. No, the previous dungeon closed. It was at 6 hours when you guys started your bender. You drank through the night, and then you had an 8-hour sleep. So you have burnt away a good chunk of that you've slept. That you've gone well past the collapse of the previous dungeon. You've got about you've got 6 hours left until the next dungeon opens.
That's enough. That's like, in our time, that's like 3 months of going underground for some side quest.
That does seem legitimate.
Yeah, we could come back with like 17 new group members by then. Fucking,
You could be level 15, and
who knows?
Nalia could be flying around on her Drake. You got food, you've got drinks, you've got a timer, you've got a cabinet.
I'm eating.
Jake's
and drinking
ending his stream. So, what would you guys like to do, Team Chaos? You got Mort there, steadily sipping more water.
Mort, my good man. I don't believe that's
Mm.
water, but also, is that really water? Like, are you feeling okay? I don't think I've ever seen you drink water, unless it was like a drop of water in some whiskey or some shit.
Yeah, it is. It is water. That halfling. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. Mort,
Don't try drinking with a halfling.
I don't try drinking. No, okay, I won't. Or maybe I will. I don't know. But Mort, do you happen to recall that bullshit fucking job on the video they stitched us up last night? What the fuck is with that?
Oh, the AI seems to have taken a bit of an interest and maybe a dislike to your. It happens. It happens in the crawls. It could be about the were-rat. It could be. It could be that you're adopting NPCs like they're stray cats. It just could be because he's an asshole. And Mort's sort of looking up, giving the finger to the roof with his fluffy yellow hands as he's doing this. He's not making there's been things that that you guys have discussed, but he's made no secret of the fact that he hates the AI. He hates the crawl, but there have certainly been clandestine things that you guys have been doing via your bathroom, highly complex bathroom and communication method.
What do you mean? It's just a contemplation space.
But no, it doesn't have anything other than it happens, and it generally means that the AI is taking an interest in, or one of its subroutines are taking an interest in painting you guys in the worst possible light. But despite that, you are still, you are on the leaderboard, which has put a bounty on your heads, which wasn't really explained in the TV show.
Is that what that bounty board is?
What does that mean? Does that mean, are they like our odds? Get a multi on that shit?
That kind of not even gonna ask. At some stage the hunters will be released into the crawl, and that means that bounty hunters and mercenaries from all over the multiverse bid for a position to come in and hunt. In your parlance, maybe think of the Predator movies. We saw those when we were in stasis. Don't quite look the same. All kinds of races, all kinds of classes,
What
but
kind of
they will be
races? They've got one here.
chasing the bounty, and the esteem at taking out high-level crawlers. When they're released, you'll know. But also, if you kill another group of crawlers who have a bounty, you'll collect that in addition to the skulls.
Why
that will
would we
persist
kill
with
other
you.
crawlers? I have a hard enough
Boy.
time fucking killing shit in dungeons.
I I hope you don't have to, but you did see that not every group is like you.
I mean, yeah, there's that weird dude that licks shit. Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, yeah, licking stuff's not weird. It's okay.
Licking knives is weird. So, I forgot I put poison on them. Oh, damn
it. And as you say, oh, that's right. So, Zach, which bathroom store were you in?
Upstairs, I think.
Yeah, the one at the far end. It's the only one that was empty.
All right, might have to talk to Victor about that. That sounds a bit sus. He's generally worried about you, Zach. He's concerned about the you know, you might have got might have poked yourself in the eye or something if you're peering into strange holes in bathroom stalls. As you guys are talking, and some of your perceptions are a bit lower and higher than others, but the Voccionis, you pick up on it straight away because you can see all three of these guys, and you saw them when they were probably like this, and their tongues were distended. And what you notice is that the tongue has actually reduced by about 2/3, and it flicks out basically when each of Alia, Jake, and Zach are talking, but it's no longer impeding their speech. And it's now essentially maybe at most 30 centimeters long, as opposed to at its longest, which was around a meter. it has reduced substantially, and at various points in the conversation, Jake, Alia, and Zach, you all each come to realize that, oh, hang on, Zach's mentioned he didn't remember getting a forked tongue. His tongue felt a bit tingly. So Zach, you realize you've got a forked snake tongue that's about yay long, that you catch in your own vision every now and then as you talk, and especially when you're saying your S's and it flicks out. you all three of you, where you can decide what your character remembers or not about getting that snake tongue, but you all certainly realize that you have one, and if you did remember getting it, it's a lot shorter than what it was in the 8 hours that have passed.
Are we going to change our name from Team Chaos to Team fucking Slytherin? Like, what the hell?
I'm with Team Chaos.
Team Chaos. Well played. Well played.
And
But
Mort
seriously, would that shit go away? I mean, I know it's getting shorter, but
Sorry, did you ask that to Mort or to the others?
To Mort.
I see you got in amongst the devil's tongue. Well played. Oh, that's the big boy drinks that one. It takes about 12 hours and the tongue will pass. So you guys have got about 4 hours-ish left from when you had your last drinks. You've got this flicking tongue. And it's just shorter, but it still has that, that prehensile quality where it can function as now a much smaller extra hand. That's what Jake picked up his bottle the night before, which Voccionis you'd remember. The others maybe a bit hazy, but picked it up and was continuing to drink with it. So I guess in terms of you've got 6 hours left. I guess what I sort of need to know is, and by all means take a moment to figure out your plan of attack, but whether you're sort of wanting to fast track through to the 6 hours with things that we can kind of semi-automate, or whether there's shops that you haven't yet visited that you may want to go to where we will need to kind of work through you if you want to get to know those patrons rather than kind of speed run through it. I just kind of need to know where you're looking to go next over this 6 hours that you've got with this timer ticking down.
Do we need to make any preparations?
Um,
No,
do we tell Mort about what we found in the tunnel?
then probably we should. We literally walked out of the underneath and then got shit faced.
Fair enough.
That seems like a long time ago now. Weeks ago.
Weeks ago. Like a month.
We probably should. Mort,
Shit,
what's up with
Mort.
the big old fucking door at the end of the tunnel after the water? And there's a crazy fishy lady, and then there's all these like fucking fish, but they're fish fingers, and like now they're fucked up, and like Jake can almost burn water and like blow shit up, and like what the fuck?
Yeah, grenade fish. So happy.
Someone please give me the non-Fokionis version of that.
Fucking
There were fish ladies with fingers
Where
Jake,
that got
do the
blown
thing.
up.
yeah, Jake could show you.
Like Mort is super focused. He's been he
Jake.
doesn't really know what you guys have been up to, but he's now that he knows that you've been down there, he's zoned in. He's just very confused.
Jake, do the thing.
I'm going to assume that Jake is still on the floor, wrapped up in his blanket.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, fuck kicks, Jake.
I would like
Jake,
him
do
to
the
wriggle
thing.
around and change into the fish lady.
Yeah.
Make that little wobbly frown, and then just roll over and turn back to Jake.
Oh, come on.
You had him run in with the Nagas. And did you turn into the lady that
To the lady.
to Signet? Okay. But all right, so sorry, I just wanted to check that. So Mort sees this and sits down, seeing that clear recognition. He goes, "Oh, was she an elite?"
I don't know, man, but she was pretty prime. Just ask Jake. All right.
Yeah, go.
She had a mithril shirt on what we saw, but
She had some
don't know.
confused
Yeah, what do
tattoos,
you mean by
fucking moving
elite?
around.
When you first met her, when you started talking, did you get any indication, like a notification, that this was an elite NPC?
I don't know. She just magic
Like a tag?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
She just said we needed to talk.
You may have missed it, but that was Serena Signet from the show Vengeance of the Daughter. That's an elite, and you've now brought yourselves into... Oh, fuck. The Vengeance of the Daughter is a show that runs every crawl. Serena Signet is a character in it every crawl. And every crawl, she tries to find crawlers to bring in to the storyline. She doesn't know it, but the writers, they're not on strike. The writers and the showrunners try to bring in likely entertaining talent into the story. Did you promise anything?
I don't remember. I was
think we
kidding.
did.
Did
Yeah,
we?
we might have said, oh, if we come across this sort of circus ground, we're gonna help like cleanse it of the curse of the stuff, the heart-rending vine.
Shit. And did you accept anything from her?
No.
I have had a really good feast.
Yeah, she had a bunch of food we ate, but
I don't know. Jake and her were playing swapsies.
Oh yeah, Jake has a show. that's why he
Jake
looks
really
so-
quickly rips the blanket off of his torso, shows it, and then curls back up.
Ooh, peep show.
I'll let you guys know too that Zachary, you also took the sending stone.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, the talking stone.
Yeah, you
this
said
was a
she
reminder
wouldn't
for you
call
guys.
me, so I just dismissed her. I got this cool rock, bro.
And Mort takes it and has a look at it, hands it back, sees the symbol, hands it back to you, shakes his head. He goes, for better or worse, you're going to get tied up in that story, whether you like it or not. Events will keep on pushing you towards it. Shit. I don't know what will face you in the next dungeon, but if it's got Serena in it, it will involve some kind of story arc pushing towards liberation of her people. She's a good guy in the show, good girl, good whatever. She's one of the main characters. She's one of on the good side, but they don't always win. And every season, the story plays out, and she tries to avenge her father. She tries to reclaim or claim the throne. And it sounds like you're now going to be tied up in this season's story. Oh,
Wait, is that the
resolve
castle
it.
door or in the dungeon?
You haven't mentioned the castle door in the dungeon yet. We
Oh,
just
whoops.
got
We're getting
to
Well, I
there
just
before
did.
that.
Whatever.
So I thought you were asking me,
Clearly went through that.
so
We were
sorry,
fucking
I thought that
listening.
was a racer question. So as an early one, and Mort said talking. Wait, door, pin that. Look, Serena, deal with it as fast as you can. Extricate yourself as fast as you can, and get as many rewards as you can. Because
Extra
if you
cake.
try and fight it, you will get the job done as fast as possible.
Yeah,
Bet.
Mort said there's going to be extra cake.
Oh, fuck, give me strength.
Pretty sure it's the water, Mort, or it won't be for long.
So that, I mean, in a positive, I may be able to monitor you a bit more if you start appearing on Vengeance of the Daughter. It's not a bad show. And he describes it like really briefly, a little bit fanboyish for about a minute. And essentially what you're getting is that it's Days of Our Lives sort of kind of drama. But it is a much gorier, more Game of Thronesy version of the Day of Our Lives storylines. Like the way that it's done has the dramatic flair and the over the top interpersonal relationships, but it's blood, gore, dragons, magic, destruction. It's a bit of a wild ride, but it's extremely popular every crawl, and these characters reappear. So Serena, like Ward and Manta, where they've had multiple different iterations, she is always Serena Signet, reused and recycled through every crawl in a different context. Coming back to the door in the dungeon. That was your first question, Ali. What was the last one you just asked? I'm trying to keep track. There's a few things flying around. The last one you just said you had another question about, was it not rewards? Do you remember Ali's
do we
last
get
question?
sponsorship?
Sponsorship.
If you're
All right,
watching
come
us
back to
on
that.
TV.
All right. Sponsors are coming, but you said in the dungeon there was a door. Was that at the end of the tunnel on that
Yeah,
map?
it had a dragon's face on it.
Dragon's face. Were you able to get an entry?
Nah.
Tell me everything you can remember about the door and the surrounds.
Well,
Everything.
I put my Drake's face to it and it didn't work. And then it yeeted it across the floor.
What's a yeet?
Threw it, pounded it,
Shot
shot it out. I don't know how you want to describe it.
Magically? Was there a barrier on the door?
No, it kind of sunk into the door. So you put something in the slot But then if it didn't like it, it shot it back out.
And was that the thing you said was like a dragon's head?
Yeah.
What else? What did you try to open it? What failed? Did you try and open it?
I don't know. Jake did most of it. I just tried something else.
We tried explosives.
That was
and
fun.
then it sort of absorbed that energy and redirected it out at us in like a few fireballs, which was scary. We tried if
Floor
we
marks on the floor.
tried claw marks on the floor. So we just stood in them, I think, and there was like, so we'd touch it, it'd like go inverted, and then if we touched it again, it'd like go back and poke back out like really quick and put like a fear aura around it. So yeah, we tried putting our heads in it. Didn't work. Tried putting her pet dragon's head in it. That didn't work. Tried.
You saw Jake try to blow it up.
Yeah, that was first. That's the first option, obviously.
And then we all ran for our lives.
Again.
Again.
All right. You see Mort thinking, like he's kind of distracted. Cat picks up on a bit of like Jake nearly died, and that kind of registers after maybe 20 seconds from when it was actually said. He looks over with alarm towards Jake, and then realizing he's okay. So that's what goes. Oh, I'm glad you're okay, boy. This is good. This is very good. Were there any markings on the door?
Before or after we throw shit at it?
Both. Either. Around the door, the floor, the walls. Was there any a language you couldn't read?
I
Symbol
licked it,
that
but I
seemed
can't
strange.
remember if there was anything.
You couldn't read anything with your tongue?
Not that I remember.
What I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to
roll?
get each of your characters to do both a perception and an sorry, let me try that again. A wisdom and an intelligence roll, just a straight wisdom and intelligence.
Straight roll, not saving.
Not saving. And you're not actually perceiving or investigating anything.
So
I'm looking
like straight roll
here.
from the top of our things, or
Yeah, you click on the stat and it should do a roll for it.
wisdom and intelligence.
Yep. And you can do that either, Foundry, D&D Beyond with a real dice. Just tell me what you rolled.
What a fucking
15 for wisdom, 9 for intelligence.
Oh my god.
Sounds about
All
right.
right, so we got a 15. Highest from Ali is 15.
7 for wisdom.
7 and 7.
22 for intelligence.
Yep. And Jake, wisdom and intel rolls. We may have lost Jake, so I'm going to go with the Fokionis. You sort of are a bit lost in all of this. Like it's all a bit of a second language. You passed on everything that you knew. You're not exactly
I
sure
look for a guest list, but there wasn't one, so I couldn't.
That's reasonable. That would have been very helpful.
I mean, if you're on the door, then you get in. That's how it works.
Oh, yes.
There was no door bitch or nothing.
We need to get on the list. Like you can tell that Mort's like he's only really he's halfway there, but he's definitely engaged with you. Alia and Zach, between the two of you, as you sort of with your parcel tongue, kind of quickly discussing the things that you remembered and you saw and tasted, and Ali, when you were face right up on the door, you both remember. See, between the two of you, you kind of construct together this feeling of you definitely remember that there was some runes that glowed, and especially when like the metal was going in and out, when the fear spell activated, when the dynamite was absorbed and shot back out, like those runes were were glowing, and there was also a bit of light coming out into the surroundings from them. They had kind of like a greenish glow. With Zach's 22 and assisted by Alia with the 15, between the two of you, you're able to kind of sketch out some of those symbols for Mort, that the ones that sort of repeated that you definitely know you saw on there, and that they may have been in a couple of different spots. And putting that on essentially a napkin and handing it over to him, Mort's eye, I only said eyes, opens really wide, and then he kind of composes himself and quickly folds that and tucks it somewhere out of sight, and goes kind of quiet for a moment, and he's handing out food and drinks, and sorry, slipping in my duties. I'm sure you all have a busy day, getting ready for the dungeon. I'll see what I can find out about this season of the Vengeance of the Daughter. I'll see if I can catch some previous episodes. And I definitely recommend that you all make sure you go into the next dungeon with an empty bladder and an empty bowel. That's Crawling 101. But I'm sorry, I've been so remiss in my hostly duties, and he's very sort of bustling, and you can tell that he's not doing the world's best bang up job of hiding the fact that, you know, something has definitely resonated with him there. And he's going to be moving on. Yeah, exactly. Like he's the chaos version of you guys in the dungeon. Like, I may or may not have seen a map.
Whoa.
Fuck it, I'm going to the bathroom. No.
You bomb as you can.
No, may as well.
And Alia toddles in, and Alia, it's as you saw it last time around. Nothing new at this point has been added, and you do recall that Mort said, you know, before you go into the dungeon, make sure you visit this space again. But there's been no further additions.
Oh, better use the litter tray then.
Yeah, you can do your business in your in your magical litter tray.
Self cleaning and everything. Mint.
Mint. And you guys are more. He's still there. Mort's pottering around. You can tell he's a little bit distracted. But he's still there. He's feeding, making sure there's plenty of food and drinks around. He's taking all your dirty stuff away. But he's kind of pottering, and you can definitely tell he's a little bit distracted. So what would you guys like to do? You've got now, by the time you've eaten, you've had these conversations with Mort. Oh, sponsors, sorry, you had your sponsor question. So with his distractedness and mine, Mort does come back to you, Ali, as you come back and says, sorry, Ali, you asked about sponsors. You'll get a notification when sponsorships open. Perform highly enough, stay on the leaderboard. Hopefully the live broadcast will be picked up by sponsors rather than the edits that are casting you in such a bad light. But you definitely can receive sponsors and items and money and all kinds of things from. You have no control over it, and you have no control over what you get, but performing well in the control and, you know, not dying, and staying on the recaps, hopefully in a better light. But sometimes the chaos that you bring has its own set of audience. You definitely may find yourself with some rewards waiting for you from sponsors and viewers.
Fuck yeah, Hunger Games 101.
He kind of thinks from it, goes, yeah, kinda. That's a fair assessment. But there won't be any little parachutes floating in. I think I remember that in one of them. Or maybe there will this crawl, but that would be new.
Right. Okay. Does anyone need new weapons or stuff? Do we have to go get anything to prepare for this next fucking load of bullshit? Jake, do you have enough dynamite, or do we need more?
Mort looks at dynamite.
You know, sticky blow up, boom.
Yeah, we
I-
found it in the cave.
I
Lots
know
of
what
it.
it is.
Oh, good.
Really?
Oh, fuckloads.
That is hard to get.
Is it? Can we trade? Is it worth? Can we buy more shit? Is there better stuff than dynamite? Should we keep the dynamite?
You'll definitely find a market for it at the Desperado Club.
Yeah, but then if we sell it, we don't have it. You know.
I didn't say sell it. I answered your question. It was me. I'd keep it.
Yeah, except that maybe you got to get Jake not to use it so often.
Can we keep it and get the money we'd get for selling it as well?
Oh, I see what you're doing. Bro, hey, come here, buy this.
Mort's just like,
yeah, buddy, give me your shit.
I know you're kind of semi broke Mort's brain with that one. So he's like, is that a riddle?
No, obviously.
That is just says on then I don't know. I don't understand.
Oh well. Yeah, so the Desperado Club, you reckon?
If you're looking to sell, that is maybe there or the bazaar, that halfling. Yeah, he'll buy you dynamite. Hope the bastard's hungover.
I don't think
Desperado Club is your best. That's the black market, the underground, your more underhand, seedy stuff. That's they'll just buy and sell just about anything.
Wait, Zach, why are you smiling? Why are you
No
smiling?
reason.
Because he said underground CD stuff.
No reason.
I didn't think that you liked plants.
I'm all good.
I don't think Jake will sell it anyway. But it's good to know. Right, so
I'd love to see one of you guys try and convince Jake to sell the dynamite.
Oh, nah. Well,
that would make my day.
Nah.
We sell it with the fuse lit.
Oh, shit.
Right, so are we getting supplies from anywhere? Does anyone need some shit?
Nah, I'm pretty toasty.
Right. You've got enough random trash in that bag?
100%.
If we've got dungeons coming up, you know we've got to be throwing stuff.
Yeah, we still got our metal wall.
But do we have enough sleeping bags?
That sounds like a you problem.
There's at least two of you that. Oh, actually no. So it's yeah. There's at least two of you whose sleeping bags. Like Rick didn't have one. So, but I forget. I think it was Zach or Fokionis. One of you guys lost one in Dungeon 2. So I know you're down to 2 sleeping bags between the 3 of you because Jake, I believe, still has his. I haven't heard anything from any of his stories. He's told you guys that he's lost his sleeping bag. He was not using a sleeping bag to disarm dynamite. He was diving head first to rip that shit out of the walls. Sorry, Lily, could you say that again?
I think they said they still have it.
Oh, all right. Sorry, I just
I
missed
don't
what
have
you said.
mine.
Apologies.
You don't have
So it was
yours?
yours that went missing. Well, there was one that was volunteered that was thrown, and it set off a trap, and it got fucking exploded.
I think it might be mine because I don't have one.
Oh, I've got mine. Bedroll.
Yeah, it's mine.
Well, they're definitely for sale around the place.
Right, maybe we go get a new one for you.
So at this point, you've got about 5 hours left before that dungeon opens.
But all the crawlers in the same town. Or does each town look different per crawler?
What do you mean? Sorry.
that top 10
Like
list,
the
are they
world-
all here somewhere? Or
Yeah.
can we not see each other when we're in town?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I just didn't understand the question.
Sorry, I probably should have worded it a bit better.
No, you're right. It was actually a me not understanding, not Mort. It was me. I think for those of you who've played video games or watched some sci-fi movies, they call it instancing. So the world between exists through as many stages as it needs to for the now 1.3 million crawlers, and as enough fatalities occur, the instances are merged. We don't have a figure on how many parties are in each of the instances, how many crawlers are here, but the number is definitely diminishing. Generally,
So we're going through
there's
server merges.
between hundreds to thousands, but the world between will grow and then it will shrink as we hit capacity, and then as numbers dwindle.
Can you put that in FOC?
Lots of different worlds between, lots of different leaderboards, multiverse of madness.
Okay.
So there's a shit ton of different servers that'll slowly merge all together.
Oh, it's
Kind of
like
thinks for a bit, you know,
Amazon Games. I see.
that yes. He's kind of thinking and processing because he was trying to put it into, like, you know, the Earth descriptions of what he knows, but you know, a lot of what he knows is a bit dated and what they've got in their information pack. So yeah, essentially yes, you're in instances, just like your dungeons are instanced, and they're as you've seen, different numbers of crawlers in each of the dungeons. Sometimes you're on your own, sometimes it's big, you know, multiple groups. But the actual full technical running of it, not much more is available to you than that at the
Does
moment.
that mean there's other Morts in other towns?
Ugh,
There's only one
there's
more.
only one more.
What if there's a Doppelmort?
Hmm.
Maybe his other patch.
Well, I mean, we've got Jake for that.
Oh yeah,
That boy can doppel anybody.
that's true.
But
Jake,
Mort also does.
Doppelmort.
Jeez.
You there, Jake?
He's just like crying on the floor. You're like,
He's-
hey, Jake,
Yeah,
turn to this.
it's like dance monkey. Do you respond to this at all, Jake? Or are you just ignoring Fokionis?
Try harder.
Oh, poor
Oh,
Jake.
Jake.
Oh.
Come on.
So Jake just stays curled up in the blanket sobbing, I think is what I heard there.
You hear the sobbing get louder.
Oh no.
Jake, don't worry. We're gonna be able to go blow
Be
some shit up
happy.
soon.
Hearing
Maybe you can
your
do
upset,
the spaghetti things or something.
Jake, Mort disappears behind the counter for a second. He comes back, and there were at different points like little stuffed animals, because he had them piled up and he was in amongst them and amongst the drinks, and then he sat up out it and scared the shit out of these guys when they initially met him. But he returns with a little miniature version of essentially what, you know, the AI has butchered into Mort's form, which is the Funshine Bear. And he's got this little miniature one, and it's got a really pleasant vanilla scent, and he just gently tucks it beside you, not wanting to interfere too much with your space. But as Fokionis noted, he could be surprisingly gentle and caring, despite the gruff exterior and the way that he carried Alia back, and the way that he has, you know, adopted Rathu. And he just leaves that there with you, and steps away as well. So if you want it, you've now got a little cuddly Funshine Bear from Mort.
Should we go check on Mish and old mate who we left there talking Mish's head off? Anyone?
Oh, sorry, I'm laughing at Jake's changing video.
Uh-oh.
Would anyone like to do that?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Jake, you stay here and guard Mort.
If you agree, keep crying.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh,
A single hand reaches out and like grabs the bear and slowly pulls it into the cocoon of covers.
and the Jake blanket is complete. All right, so Jake is standing guard on Mort. What are the other three of you looking to do?
We're going to see Mish.
All right, all three of you heading out that way.
Yeah.
As you're saying this, Mort just quickly, as you said, one moment, and he pulls out another napkin and quickly, the one that you gave him is sort of like hunched over it, and you can see him really quickly replicating what you drew on there. Folds it up. You go, can you give this to Mish for me? Thank you. And not drawing any attention, put them. The other one's gone. Hands it off to whoever it was that instigated. I think it was Fokionis was the one instigating going out the door. So you're the one he hands it to.
Okay.
Okay.
As you guys head off. So walking out of the safe room, the other thing Mort explained when you guys were talking about the instances, he also reminded you guys that like every safe room, whatever group goes in there gets the safe room that they've been allocated to, and they get the Bobka that's been allocated to them. So not everybody has Mort. Every group has their own version, or whoever's been allocated, whichever X-crawl has been allocated to them, essentially their Mort. So it's always the same spot. People come and go out, like Meadowlark. You invited them in. They met Mort. If you'd gone in under their invitation, you would have got to see their Waffle House, and you would have gotten to meet, because they told you they were in a Waffle House, and gotten to meet their Bobka as well. So I'm just giving you that quick little lore dump that that got dropped on you guys ages ago, just as a reminder from Mort. After how you guys were asking questions. So you're heading out, you see that there's more people than you used to surrounding and walking through the streets. Most of them seem to be moving with a purpose. Everyone seems to sort of the crawler's conscious of that timer. Some of them have enabled the skulls over their heads, and you definitely can see that there's some around that seem to be quite proud of the number of people that they've other crawlers that they've knocked off. Others, like you guys mentioned, unless you've changed it, had elected to keep yours not displayed. So in video game parlance, you don't have it shining above your head. You have yourselves basically as anonymous as you can be, having your faces plastered now across 2 episodes of the recap show. And what you guys were asking too, the recap show is different for every single instance as well. So like Mort said, every single instance has their own leaderboard. Every single instance has their own bounties. Every instance has their version of the world between. Every instance has their recap as well. So you guys got to see yours. You weren't singled out amongst 1.3 million people. You were singled out amongst however many were in your instance, as best you and Mort is aware. So heading through, you are noticing more and more people. Definitely some pretty fancy weapons with flames and ice and acid dripping off it, and all different kinds of races and sizes and shapes compared to what you'd seen before in the first couple of dungeons before it got opened up with all of those extra choices that you had. But no one really seems to bother you. You do get a couple of kind of turning, glancing looks with people who seem to be trying to place you, and maybe one or two of them, your perceptions aren't that high as to whether they actually do recognize or not, but they're definitely like, I think I know that guy, or that girl, or that maybe they're just looking at the raccoon because it's weird as shit to see a raccoon walking through the street still for every you asked earlier is still the only walking, talking raccoon that any of you guys have encountered thus far. And heading towards Mish's, you get there without any kind of any kind of dramas apart from those looks. But heading into the door, so when you swing open and it's open for business, and Mish mentioned that I should be flat strapped once this announcement came through. But when you open the door, the thing that strikes all of you, regardless of how high your perception is that you could always see through to the counter, but directly above, almost directly above the counter, you guys can see strung up with this huge, like corded, multi-wrapped rope is this massive net. And in that net, there is all kinds of pointy, rusty, blunt, pokey stuff that is sitting at the moment directly above the counter of the shop. You can't see where the rope goes. It definitely wasn't there before, but there now appears to be this huge pile of dangerous shit hanging over the top of the counter. And Misha's there happily at the counter. She's, the door dings. She sees you guys, gives you a wave and a big smile. You can't see Ward at the moment. He's not clearly visible if he's here, but you can definitely see Misha. You can definitely see that's hanging over the over the top of her. And there is, from past experience, there's definitely some bedrolls here.
Bedrolls.
I'm just gonna casually. I'm just gonna casually walk towards the counter and look up at the net.
And Mish seems you standing like under it. And when you step there, Ali, you also notice that as you're walking through, there is a big spray painted circle with an X through it. Which I will give Fokionis knocking on the floor, that you heard Mish talking and you heard what sounded strangely like paint being applied on the floor.
Oh.
Where you are.
Why did I just like connect?
Above you is where you're knocking on the floor. There is now this thing above, and Mish looks up and goes, just in case they're down there. That's for the bastards under the floor that you warned me about. They can come through anytime.
Leah takes a few steps back.
And as you step back, you do notice like the floorboards do have a bit of give to them. And that there has been, with the rope that's running up and down, there is quite a sizable hole that has been cut into the floorboards, and that rope goes underneath somewhere. So it appears that, without any extra info from Mish, you can see that there definitely appears to be a very, very large, very dangerous pile of just so much stuff ready to drop on anyone that should try and burst up through her floorboards into her shop.
Glad we didn't try and come back
Bedknobs.
this way.
Could you imagine?
That was there if you guys had have decided you were going to bust up through Mish's floor and shortcut
He
your
would
way
have
into the
felt
dungeon.
so bad too.
When you guys are talking, I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting.
Quest over.
There would have definitely been some dexterity saving throws. Trying to dodge that, Devin. That's a lot. There's a lot of shit in that net. Yeah. So you've stepped back out of the drop. So, but like where it's painted, like that thing is like it is over the top of a substantially larger area than what the that you guys sort of went and marked up on the floor. Yeah, ready for those bastards. But what can I help you all with? The time's ticking down. What do you need? I don't have any outstanding commissions. That all I mentioned to you. It's all been dropped off. All of the things recorded. What she's talking quite rapidly, but it's not in a hurry or anything for you guys. You can definitely see that she's conscious of the time.
Leah needs a new sleeping bag.
Oh, take your pick. Take your
Cool.
pick. 5 silver. Take your pick of the sleeping bags.
And anything cool that maybe might help us on the way? I don't know. Dealer's choice.
Ooh. Oh, we're into the second dungeon now, so a lot of our specialty
Thought it was
items
third.
have. Oh no, this is Mish. A lot of our specialty items have gone to some of the other shops. Let me see. And so rummaging around, you guys can see that there's definitely a like a smaller selection of things, but there's more like a general goods kind of feel. She does bring out a few things that she suggests that you might have an interest in. One of them is a 10-foot length of chain. The other one is a climber's kit. It just mentions that so Rick was very keen on the ability of like non-violent, non-fatal solutions. The chain might prove useful. That a climbing kit is always useful in any crawl. You may already have them. She kind of points to a few different types of bits of equipment, and there's one that you can see that is this cloak that is billowing gently without any breeze being blown, but literally Mitch explains to you guys that it is a cloak that literally just blows in the wind. Like you can make it move for dramatic effect, but it doesn't actually have any practical application. She's got some different armors that you guys might find interesting. She points out for you, Fokionis, that she's got a half plate that has been sold to her by another crawler. And I just realized that the price of the bedroll is 1 GP, so Mish just gave you a big discount on that, Alia.
Like it.
But they're the ones that she brings out and points out to you guys as maybe having an interest in. She does actually. Sorry, there's one other one she points out that she does have some tents. If you want something with the cover rather than a sleeping bag. But if you guys want to look through the inventory, you can see there are some more and different items there that may tickle your interest. But you asked her to point out sort of her suggestions, and that's what she suggested to you.
Cool.
So, will any of this help you with your preparations? Do you need any of this?
Maybe climber stuff is not a bad option if you think climbing.
Yeah, having like we have rope. Do we need chain?
What else is in climber's kit?
Hang on, I'm having a look.
Special pittons, boot tips, gloves, and a harness. Well.
I guess the key ones there is that there's some stuff there that you can use so that you can't fall more than 25 feet. So every 10 feet that you fall, if you are climbing something and you fall, it's a 1d6 for every 10 feet that you fall that gets rolled. So I guess the above the table, the benefit is that you can anchor yourself and you can potentially climb more safely if you are using that kit.
Okay.
I might get a bag of ball bearings. I have an idea for those.
Okay. So I'm just going to mark off the bag of ball bearings. She's now down to 6. So she's got 7 bags of those. So you've now got 1,000 ball bearings. Yourself.
Above the table.
Yeah.
Lil can't hear me or others, I think. I'm not sure in the call, so she just left and come back.
Okay.
So you might just need to double check your OBS, so that should be good. Hello,
yep, she's just come back in. Thank you for letting me know.
I just thought I should say, in case there's a recording issue.
I remove 1 gold and 4.
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Was it 5 silver? 5 silver.
Yeah, you got it for 5 silver. That was me remembering the price of it wrong, and as a result, Mish gave you a friends and family discount there, big time. But you paid full price for your bag of ball bearings.
So it gets spotted coming up.
Yep. Anything else? Did you want the climbing kit or the chain?
Yeah, why not?
The climbing kit. All right. So mark yourself off 25 GP. There was only one of those left, so you're the
it's mine.
Proud owner of that, Fokionis.
Mine.
Did you guys want the chain?
Nah, that's a Rick thing.
No worries.
Wait, did someone else already do the climber's kit or?
No, I just marked it down
Oh.
because you said you bought it. So mark
Yeah,
yourself
no,
off
that's okay.
25
I just
gold.
saw a line through it. I was like, oh wait. Does that mean? Hang on. Do I have to take the gold off, or does it already come off me, or what's the go?
No, you'll need to. So in D&D Beyond, take
Yeah,
25 gold off you.
Got you.
Yeah, because when we finish up tonight, I will sync you guys up to level 7 because
Done.
the way you're currently heading, you'll tick over your timers for that Heroes Feast.
Oh yeah.
So please just let me know when you've finished shopping.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Is Mish by themselves, or is did we establish his other guy there? Did I miss that?
No, you haven't seen him, but you haven't asked about him yet either.
Ah, okay. We have not yet established. I like it. Can we inquire, Mish? Where is old mate whose name is totally like on the tip of my tongue and not because I forgot?
Ward?
Yeah, well, yeah, that guy.
I just realized at some point I made Manta uninvisible. He was nowhere around. So chatting with Mish, she does let you know, as she says, if you can wake him, it's been intense.
Oh, really?
He's been thinking a lot about what you've said, and I've answered all of his questions, heading him towards what you asked about, that realization of who and what he is. But it's very difficult for me to tread that path. But I think he might be on the verge of a breakthrough rather than a breakdown.
That is good.
He was asleep in my office when I left him, and she's pointing to the room behind you. I can get him for you. You are welcome to speak with him. He had so many questions, and I gave as many answers as I could, and he's starting to realize that things are not quite right in how he narrowly perceived himself and the world and his purpose.
Right. Do we want to see if he wants to come on the next crawl? Do we want to insist that he's gonna come on the next crawl?
He won't want to. I don't think he should come on.
He might not have a choice. Or are you suggesting that we don't want to take him?
Suggesting that maybe we shouldn't take
you know,
him.
it'd be useful to have an extra bedroll to throw at something. I don't know.
Oh, thank goodness he's asleep in the next room at the moment.
Oh, that's good.
Mish, as you're deciding, sorry, is any word from Mort? Have you seen him?
Yeah,
is he
that's
okay?
right. I've got a thing. Hang on. Rummages around in his pocket. Goes, Mort, the piece of paper. Don't know. Hands it over.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll leave you to your to make your decision about Ward.
Maybe Ward. Maybe Ward would be good back with Jake. Maybe Jake wants to see Ward. Ward wants to see Jake. Maybe Ward might help Jake snap out of it. I don't know.
Maybe. He's sleeping right now, though.
Well, if the Ward
just leave him.
you know? Okay.
If you want.
No, I don't. I'm just reading chat. I don't know.
Do you want to wake him up?
Not really.
Let's see how he's going.
Bit fucking wah last time, so you know. Is that Too much? Okay. Sorry.
He wasn't that bad.
I mean, fucking wah.
All right. As you guys are having that conversation and having said his name so many times, Ward actually stumbles out of the office.
Oh, Ward, hang on, buddy. Hey, mate, how are you?
Sees you all there. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad to see that you're all okay.
What's
If
up, Buttercup?
everything, everything
What?
is up.
Not good, man.
If it's okay, I don't wish to impose. And Mish, you have been a marvelous host, but would it be okay if I went back and maybe used the shower and
That's a good idea.
cleaned up? And I believe Mort has some changes of clothes there from Mish that I may be able to make use of.
Yes. He's got some food too. If you may be hungry, I don't know.
Oh yes, thank you. And Mish, thank you so much for everything. And he says he's a little bit awkward, he's a little bit kind of distracting, sort of not sure what to do around any of you, and just in the end, waves, kind of gives a sort of a half a wave, and in his sort of semi-dazed state, he heads out of Mish's and he's heading back towards Jake at the safe room. And we've kind of left Jake be for a little bit, so I am going to come back to Jake in a moment, just to give you that heads up, Jake. But for the rest of you guys here, is there anything else you're looking to accomplish at Mish's just before we head back to Jake for a little bit?
No, but maybe in Mish, like, I know Mort had a thing, but did he want us to take something back for him? Is it like more fucking cheese or something?
No, I have no more commissions.
Okay, cool.
I just thank him for the note. That was very
I see. Is this like
interesting.
box? Will you go out with me? Yes, no, maybe. Like,
No,
okay, sorry, just me.
no.
Hmm?
I think I understand your question.
Right. No, good.
And please keep an eye out for my brother in the next dungeon. Thank you for what you found.
Your brother, yes.
I will hold out hope that he's still alive. You return to his goggles after the last dungeon. All right.
Okay.
So you guys are your next step, I'm assuming, is you're heading out of Mish's. So I'll let you guys. Yeah, sorry, is that all of you? So Fokionis, Alia,
Yeah.
Zach, you guys are. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So Ward heads back to the safe room, comes on through. Jake, at some point you become dimly aware of that public cleaning array activating again, and if you choose to peek out a little bit from your Duna covers, you'd see that as he has before, Ward has kept his essentially like his long johns on, but he has gone through that cleaning array shirtless, and then he has also taken his clothes through it and then regarbed. And at this point, after going through that, his next step is he's headed to the counter and he's talking. You can sort of hear the murmured voices of him talking to Mort about potentially having one of those, basic cheap sets of like plain brown travel garments that he's one of those that were delivered for Rick. What would you like to do?
Maybe
Slowly shuffle, slowly roll, slowly go in that direction. And I would like to call out, do you not take them off because you're smooth like a Ken doll? Because I feel like that's an even sadder existence. Like, you're already really sad. Like, sadder than me. I can't imagine being like a lump down there, just smooth.
You sort of start a Ward initially, then he realizes it's you, and like you can imagine really easily that he would with his child. He sort of crouches down and then sort of sits semi awkwardly and then gets comfortable beside you, Jake. And you see him and he goes, I don't know this Ken doll. I think maybe you're asking about genitals? Yes, I have them. I am
you cannot
reasonably
touch
sure
them.
reproduction is the same for most similar looking races, and
I don't know.
definitely
Talk
they
about
worked
dolphins
once.
before.
All I can
What was
think of
it?
is right now is no, don't touch me there. This is my no square.
While those guys are having their I missed the last thing you said. Sorry, Lily, or that Jake said.
We had to talk about dolphins. I don't think it's all the same.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I don't fully understand.
It's okay. You don't understand a lot of things.
No, I don't.
I don't either.
I am really struggling to answer those questions of who am I? What am I? Where's my family? Is my family? So does that even make sense? I don't.
Make your own family.
Oh, I did. I think.
We'll make more. If you did it once, you could do it again.
But
And then if the other one appears, you could have 2 families. And then you can make one big family. I wish I had a family.
but oh
My
god,
family's
I don't know.
dead.
But how? I don't.
Well, we just
I
talked about
had
that.
a wife. I
Reproduction.
don't know how I met my wife. I know I have a
Must have
wife.
been a good
I
life.
know I have a son. I know I love them very much. I thought I knew where they lived. I thought I knew so much, but I don't remember so much.
Maybe you were just under like a really powerful spell to keep you compliant and conforming.
Spell.
Like there's magical stuff here. I could just turn into a fish lady whenever I want.
Oh, the world is full of magic and what I
Exactly.
wonder.
So who's to say you're not under a really powerful spell that's made up so much of your life that you
Wonder.
just can't tell the difference?
Where would I go? What do I do? How do I
You curl up in a ball with a
Maybe
pink blanket around you and cry.
maybe the temple. Jake, this is very inappropriate, I'm sure, but do you have any gold I could borrow?
I gave
I will
Mish
repay
your
you.
pocket money.
Yes.
Did you spend all of it?
No.
That was like 50 gold.
No. And with
God,
that, thank you.
I'm sad
Thank
and
you.
poor.
With that, 50 gold. That will it work?
Little man.
Will that be enough?
In my hand.
And with that, thank you. He sort of starts to take off, and then, thank you so much. And almost kind of thoughtlessly, after he's been so awkward around everybody else, he would, like fatherly with a child, reaches down and just wraps you, not even thinking about it, wraps you in your blanket in a big, warm, all-encompassing hug, and just thank you, and rushes out the.
Can I try and
the
latch
door.
onto him?
Absolutely. He's not trying to avoid you, but he's not even aware of it.
I'm going with him as a bug.
So let's make that I can see where this is going to end up, but just give me a straight like dexterity roll.
Oh my gosh,
Because you're trying to.
dexterity?
He's trying to. You got to catch him first.
How's a 13
Catch 'em all.
sound?
Gotta catch 'em all.
13. You don't quite grab on like you'd intended, where you have been dragged along before by Phocyonis, but you do catch the hem of the cloak. It's almost like a Jedi cloak, that brown, simple plain. He's just gotten rid of all of that garish kind of piratey garb. He's kept the headband, but it's now just like a plain brown robe that he's wearing. But he seems to immediately intuit what you're looking to do, and he turns, sort of a little sad smile and a nod, and actually picks you up and carries you and your blanket and your teddy bear with him as he heads out the door. And now that you are with him, if you're willing to go along with being carried this way, he is heading towards the temple. So we'll come back to Ward and the trip to the temple in a moment. Back to the rest of you. Where are you guys going? What are you looking to do? The other three of you.
How much time we got left?
At the moment, with your walking and your chatting, you are at around about 3 hours left. 2.5 to 3 hours.
I'm following Jake.
At the moment, you're not with him. So you're at Mish's. He's at the safe room.
Okay.
So you're with...
I thought we'd gone back there. It's all good.
Where I left you guys, you were still at Mish's, and Ward had taken off. You could have followed along with Ward. There was nothing stopping you from doing that, but he took his leave from you guys. So if you would like to do that and to go along with those guys, you are welcome to. Alia?
Yes, I'll do that.
All right.
Because I'm intrigued what's going to happen here.
All right. Now, Fokionis and Zach, you're at Mish's at the moment. What would you guys like to do? And you are aware, like there's a screen of Mish's as well, so you're all aware of around about what time you've got. You've got that. I'll say about 2.5 hours before the dungeon opens and the portal appears in your safe room.
Do we want anything else? I don't know. Do we need
Should we
stuff?
go to the inn for some mead just before the...
Oh, you want to go check the bathroom again? Okay, cool.
No.
He does.
If you get in the stall next door and we both look at...
Oh, buddy, I used to work at a nightclub, you know.
Don't go near that hole.
It's a no from me. It's okay. I love you, but you know, we might. Let's get a drink. Come on. Fock puts his arm around Zach and I runs. Come on, let's get a drink. Half headlock, half dragging him towards the pub. You cheeky little thing.
So are you guys heading back to the pub?
Yeah, we're going to get some mead. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll let you guys head back. There's definitely less bar staff in action. It's much quieter in the Griffin's Rest Inn. The bottomless beers aren't flowing, but the prices have certainly reduced. So where before they were like I think it was 1, 3, and 5 for the different sizes of the glasses in gold, they've all halved. So the event pricing, the surge pricing has reduced. There's just no bottomless glasses or bottomless bottles, so you can you've got your normal size for 50 silver, then 1 gold 50 for the the big 1 liter not pint. So we've got schooner, pint, and I forget the handle ones.
Okay, let's go with the yard.
Blanking. Let's call it that. So if you're doing that, and if it's Fokionis, just shout that 1 gold, 50 silver each, or a 3 gold between the two of you, and they're just it's a pleasant, happy barmaid that serves you and moves on about her business. I'm saying this, and I can come back to you guys, but at the moment, Jake and Alia and Ward are on their way to the temple, so I'm going to come back over to them. So as the three of you head down, Ward, he knows that he's registered that you're there, Alia. Took him a little bit because he was focusing on Jake, and obviously he's picked up on at least some of what Jake's going through. So you've got Jake. Ward's carrying Jake. Alia's alongside. There's a Drake and a dog trotting along. This kind of like a Dr. Dolittle going along behind Ward with a raccoon and a Drake and a dog and a miscellaneous bundle with a little Care Bear head poking out every now and then with whatever form Jake's decided to take. So as you guys head to the temple. You come back to that same grumpy, very officious official. This time though, it seems like, I don't know, Ward has an easier time talking to her than, for whatever reason, the disdain that she had for your party last time around. And he asks for a priest, and he kind of gets this jumbled story of, I don't quite feel myself. I may be under a curse or a spell or a mind control, and my memories are and he's just kind of a jumble. But rather than being just an absolute dick like she was with you guys, she sort of listens, does a little bit of a double take at the rest of your menagerie, and points him off, and next duty priest will see you soon. And so your group head through. When you go through, it's not as jarring this time around as it was when you ended up in the very dwarven themed courtyard last time around. This is just a very small little temple. Think like a little country church, the inside of a little country church. You don't see the outside, you see the inside. It's got a few stained pews, it's got stained glass timber floor, it's got a simple non-denominational table at the front. There doesn't seem to be any clear markings of any different or specific religion. It's just plain, it's simple, and coming out of one of the side, if it was a traditional Christian or Catholic church, or the vestibule area, there's a short woman in just a plain white dress, short cropped blonde hair, and walks over, sees Ward and Liga, and I'm Sister Sophia. How may I help you? And with this, Ward, again, he has that kind of jumble, and she listens, and she asks a few questions around what he's experiencing, and sort of nods to herself. I have two things I can try. Maybe a lesser restoration may help, and that is 120 gold if we supply all the components, or I believe a greater restoration will work, but that is much more expensive at 500 gold. Ward sort of perks up a little bit initially, and then kind of semi-deflates, and you see him, Alia, you see this, Jake, you see this. So he has all of the gold that was left for him to spend. He hasn't spent any of it. So that 50 gold, and he's also got some of his own wherever he's scraped and scrimped and gotten that from. So he definitely has sort of just enough for that lesser restoration, but he does not have enough for the 500 gold for a greater restoration.
How much did you say the lesser one was?
The lesser is 120, and he has that. And you can see him kind of, you can each pick up on, and Jake, how close you are to him, you can feel his heartbeat, that he is really torn on what to do.
Jake in the covers slowly like reaches down and then slowly pulls out his bag and just offers it to the lady, just with the money.
All right.
Might
Ward,
as well try the normal one first.
the normal one first. All right. So Jake is like, no, and it's already gone. The late Sophia's like, thank you, and it extracts
Well,
the
that wasn't
120
a jump
gold.
scare and a half. I don't know what
Oh,
was.
no,
Out of-
He's about to get fucking-
I missed that. Sorry, I'm glad I did.
It was a creaky door.
Oh, well, that's not my favorite thing. I'm glad that
I was like,
glad I was so focused on this interaction. And he goes, Jake,
Whoa.
there it goes again.
Sorry, that's mine.
Thank you. I will. I have the goal to repay you. But thank you. I hope this will
Most
work.
of that's my gold.
That all
Say-
your
What
gold,
was?
Jake.
Did you say that again? Sorry, Jake.
In response to what Wood said. Some of that's my gold anyway.
That is true, but I will find a way. And see, message in chat, it was 120, not 150. I think. Let me double check that. Sorry, I don't want to rip you off. The temple pricing, 120. 120. So he scraped together 120. So Sophia just sort of points to one of the pews, and Ward sits down, still cradling Jake. And Alia, you and your menagerie can kind of form yourselves around however you would like. Where would you like to position yourselves here? He's essentially sat at the end of a pew with this lady beside him at the moment, and Jake on his lap.
Oh, I'm sticking by the door, just watching this shit unfold.
All right. You can definitely hear all of it. It is a very small space. So you see the priestess, and she's mixing some things and grinding some elements up, and eventually you see her just slowly and then faster and faster and faster rubbing something between her hands, and then puts them down and into Jake's face, and this kind of dull gold sparkling dust cloud, and it goes straight for him, for Ward. Sorry, not Jake's face, Ward's face. And as he next breathes in, it disappears. And you see Jake being right up close. You see just before his eyes close, Ward's eyes roll up as the spell begins to take effect, and you can feel him kind of still and then jerking, and you hear him saying a number of different names you can only partially catch, and then languages that you don't fully understand. At times he sounds like he is speaking as some kind of animal, with growls and grunts, and at others it sounds almost like mixtures of synthetic computer sounds and old school internet screeches. You hear birds, you hear human, you hear what appear to be humanoid languages. Some you catch little glimpses of with snippets of with the language you understand, as do you, Alia, but you can just hear Jake going through all of this. And after about 10 minutes of him, again alternating to that twitching and stillness, his eyes do slowly open up, and he just kind of looks down at Jake, and he looks back at Alia, and just, what am I? Who would like to say what?
You're an AI, an NPC. You're absolutely nothing and everything at the same time. Oh, you're a spell. Woo!
What's an NPC?
A non-player character. Basically, you're not or you might not have always been a real person. You might have been. Who knows? You could have been a dragon.
I have
But also,
all of these
you're
glimpses
not.
of past lives of. Was that real?
Oh my god, you're not avoiding the questions.
Sorry, I missed what you said then. I apologize.
Oh my god, you're not avoiding the questions.
God, you're not avoiding the questions.
We've brought it up quite a few times. You just seem to ignore the fact whatever we called you it.
You have?
Welcome to the world of semi-sentience.
That does seem familiar. Those memories, they seem like they were slippery, but now I can grasp them. Semi-sentience. So what is this? Where did you find me? Where are we? Is the temple's real? And at this, Sophia gives a slight nod, but she has kind of seen the way that this conversation is going. And Alia, you definitely pick up like where you're standing and looking at it. She seems to find it quite troubling, and is, but not doing anything nefarious. But she is just quietly stepping her way, her job seemingly complete, away from this conversation.
Hey, you itty bitty raccoon, do you want to ruin this man's life or shall I?
Oh, you can do it.
So, your family was never real. None of this was ever real. It's kind of created by an artificial intelligence, and you are a cookie cutter NPC who's exactly like every other NPC, except for some reason now we're managing to make you, think.
Fucking people think I was harsh before in Mishmash. Jesus.
You are
And
a
he-
recycled, reused bit of paper.
So to see, it's probably. I think I understand enough of that, and
Chaos
enough
Jake's
of
war on trash.
of the darkness and then light, and then the darkness and then light, and the life after life after life, and death after death after death. I think maybe I understand. And without even realizing it, because he's sort of off in the distance looking, he's taken out that drawing of his wife and his child, and him, and what his kid had drawn of, have a great day at work, Dad, and the little boy looking up at his dad, and rubs that between his fingers, and then just lets it drop to the floor, and stands up. I think maybe I'd like to go back to the safe room and just be by myself for a little while. Would that be okay?
Can I open up my big pink blanket and just reach a hand out and just be like, come here real quick. Come here.
Yeah, he's right there. He's not resisting it. He's kind of like half stunned at the moment.
Just because things aren't real currently doesn't mean they can't be real one day. No matter what harsh stuff you're going through right now, keep in mind that the future is still unwritten and you can write whatever you want now. You're aware of what's around you. You could get a wife, you could get a kid, and while it might not replace the ones in your memory, you can still make new memories. You can have a life. Or you could not. And you could come in here and just cuddle in the blanket. I recommend crying. It's very nice.
Whiplash Jake 101. You can see Mort taking this in, and you can, like, the eyes well up a little bit, but then he kind of steals him some. Thank you, Jake. I might just hang on to this for a little longer. And he picks back up that picture he'd drawn and slides it away. But he has stood up, and he still is holding you, and he's walking now back towards the exit where Alia is. The priestess has left. What would you like to do? Would you like to, he's heading back to the safe room. Would you like to be carried? Alia, would you like to go back with him?
Here, Alia, come on. Come here.
They're heading towards you at the moment. Alia and Brutus and Drake.
I'm gonna go to Jake.
All right.
We're gonna go get burgers. Burgers and crying. Just like every Friday night. Is it even Friday? Do we have dates? This is like an
I
MMO.
don't even
Maybe
know what year it is.
you got any burgers in your backpack?
I got trash. Wait a minute.
Burger.
I still have 4 cheeseburgers.
Get a burger.
I will get you a burger out of the bag.
Yeah.
And one for me too.
We found burgers on the way back.
Week-old burgers.
Well, they get frozen in stasis, so they're still hot. They're the same temperature as when you put them away. They've come out, so if they were You know,
Right.
lukewarm or cold, they're lukewarm and cold. If they were hot, they're hot. Whatever state they went into that bag in.
Can I like hold the burger up towards mouth and like offer him a bite?
You can.
Trust me, it's good.
Thank you, but no.
Why
Even as you're
else?
trying to do that, like little kid, he's a practiced. Well, at least in some of his memories, dad, who's quite able to deftly avoid that, like shoving of the like, more up into your.
Oh wait,
into your
wait,
face.
I've got this. Oh, here comes the plans.
And just this little wry smile. Oh, for shit's sakes! And he takes a bite out of the burger.
Hell
Here
yeah.
comes the
Yeah.
Makes a
airplane.
big deal of chewing non-stop and not opening his mouth again as you head out of the church and find yourselves back outside the temple, exiting that little temple of an unknown god. The priestess was not overly forthcoming and especially vacated quickly as that conversation was unfolding and whatever it was about it that she found most troubling. So you guys are heading back to the safe room, burgers in hand and pets in tow. And we're at 5 to 12. So we'll let you guys head back and arrive back to the safe room. And that's where we'll pick you guys up next session. Fokionis and Zach. This is basically we're heading towards the point where the portal is just about to open. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I feel like I want to head back and use my own bathroom. All that meat yesterday is starting to, make its way.
Yeah.
All right. So as you're getting back, you each kind of arrive almost at the same time to head back into the safe room, and the two of you can pick up the thing. Something's a little bit different about Ward. You're not exactly sure what it is, but something. And he's carrying Jake, which is, I mean, even for this party, that's a little bit strange. And then every now and then you see Jake's hand trying to, shove a burger into Ward's face, and you can see him. He sort of nods in your direction, but he doesn't say anything because he's deliberately doing the big either fake or real chews without opening his mouth up to expose it to more burger. But he definitely seems to be. He's holding himself a little bit differently, and he doesn't seem to the two of you quite as confused and bewildered and lost as he was at Mish's. And that's the very quick impression you get just from how he's holding himself with the time you spent with him and your passives. But with that, you all head in to the safe room. That's where we'll pick it up next week with the portal about to open and Fokionis about to go and make
Evacuate.
a meat deposit.
I'm going to make sausage.
Different kind of what Zachary made apparently at the Griffin's Rest Inn. But we need like an edition of we need a D&D hangover episode as
Egg, I'm glad you heard that.
Talia and Jake piece together the lost hours at the Griffin's Rest Inn.
You might not want to.
I think Zach's and Egg are gonna forever regret the mentioning that there was a hole in the wall of the bathroom, even though he did it deliberately. It was a choice.
Right, here's where I'm at. I'm close.
Oh, D&D Bingo. Can you put that in the Discord? Like, it's too small on the screen.
Yeah.
I've got
Oh,
for
the
me to
link's in
see
the
it.
Twitch chat.
Oh wow, they're all different.
Actually,
Yeah,
no, I don't want to look at it because I don't want to inadvertently, start
well.
either consciously or subconsciously trying to give you your bingo.
right.
I actually want to. I hope it plays out.
That's all right.
See if I can show you mine. Hang on.
But share it. I can.
Yeah, I put it in Twitch chat in case anyone.
Okay.
I only just thought of it though. I'm really dumb. I should have put it in at the start of the stream. So I'll put it in at the start of next week.
I'll put it in the Discord as well. Pin it somewhere.
Okay.
We'll have a look and then people can play along as well. But before we wrap up and read out, are you gone live or going live tonight, Lily? I know you often do on a Monday because we'll read out to you if you are.
I will be, but I'm not gonna force you to wait for me to put stream up.
Oh
It's
wow,
okay.
that's what I got.
Oh, what do you got?
Unless you're not planning on doing it like soon,
fuck you, hey.
have a break.
Oh no, I'm planning on immediately
Yeah.
playing Animal
Wait, when did
Crossing.
Mort drop the F-bomb? I missed that one.
Oh, he dropped it at like the very start. It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
we need some clarification. If we
Did
missed
anyone
it,
get a bingo?
nah.
We might have to
Dang it.
review the VOD.
I got close.
See this being very distracting. Yeah, he did drop an
No,
F-bomb.
what do you mean? You didn't even know. You know this is the start.
You got quite a few highlighted. That's very fun.
I mean, fuck eats.
I
That's
like
a pretty
it.
easy one, you know. I put some easy and some hard.
That's pretty good. You
I was waiting for you to for Mort to take an actual swig of the water,
I
not
know,
little
right?
sips.
I
I was
feel
like, come on, dude, come on.
well, one, I didn't know bingo was happening, but two, he was legitimately drinking water and sipping it far slower than
What
he
the
normally
hell?
does with alcohol.
See, I've got some that are more dungeon orientated as well. For
Yeah.
ready for that.
Yeah.
That's right. I've got more ideas. It's pretty easy to fill it up with shit that we do. Like,
And did you generate like different bingo cards like bingo does? Or
so
is it just
yeah,
the one
everyone's
static
card's
one at the
different. Everyone's card's
Yeah.
different from the
Yeah.
link with all the players.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, then it won't matter if I have a look because everyone will have
No,
different stuff.
everyone's
So
is
it's just a
Yeah.
just
Oh
a-
no, it's all the
But
same
they're all the
stuff,
same
just
things,
in
but they're all the
different
same things,
places.
different orders.
different orders. Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
That's right. I already know that, you know, version 2 card will have like Zach fucking finds a random hole.
You'll be doing perception and investigation checks in every bathroom that
bathroom.
you're giving it a thorough. I don't know if Zach will, but it sounds like Fokionis will be on his behalf.
Did any of you actually mark Racer eats another snack? Because the entirety of the start of the
I
fucking
did.
stream,
You
I was
definitely
eating.
were. You definitely were.
Yeah. I even wrote down what ones I marked so that just in case all the yellow X's come off.
No, Egg puts head in hands. That's a pretty free one, really. Before one of us does
Well,
something.
he kept putting it here, and I'm like, that's not exactly
Nah,
on the head.
There's
like,
two
you know what I
times that
mean?
he had full face in hands. Like,
Yeah.
there's one time I think he broke in. Like, pretty sure
And then I
he
gave you guys the
Yeah,
other
like
one. I could have
easy.
waited, but I was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
You guys go.
Every time I saw your cats running in the background racer, I was like, oh, fuck, here we go.
Is like Racer.
But then, like, I should have put like
Racer
Lily's
swears
cat.
at
Like, causes
Cats,
the-
Racer swears at Gnome. Racer.
Yeah.
Is there like Racer multiple versions of
I
Racer
put,
Rage?
I put some from our character, and then there's 4, like some from us and some from our characters, like 4 from our
Yeah.
characters each, and then just random ones of us.
I
that-
was really hoping that the princess you did use some voice on her too.
No, he did use. Well, I put.
I
No,
did my
he just
best
used a
of just
voice, not
lightning.
like
Yeah,
a lady
'cause
voice.
it's not like I was, you know, that's for Glimmer or whatever. It's like, you know, waiting for the full old lady.
I did with me. I do have a voice I try and do for Mish.
Yeah,
like
but I
that
put
light,
old
much
lady's
oldish.
voice. So that's my.
Oh no, we didn't.
Yeah.
Oh well, no,
lady's
we
voice.
haven't.
That would have been clear.
We could
Haven't
blemish.
got it. Oh, well, the raid's about to go. All right, peace out, Twitch world. Thanks for hanging with us. Love yous
Yeah.
all. Go say good day to Lily. Follow up.
Or don't.
No, I hit raid before that came through, so they didn't get told not to.
Everyone that hadn't gone on the raid.
Alright, I'm gonna go to bed now.
No worries at all. Thanks, guys. That was not exactly where I thought. Well, actually, no. That
I mean, really.
I'm telling you, you went back to some notes I had from yonks ago, like that whole ward conversational stuff. That was getting to that tipping point to get
By
to
the way, it
temple.
saves your marks on the bingo card if you
Yeah,
bookmark it.
if you bookmark the card, it should be good. I think.
Oh, nice.
I totally ripped it off from some of my students in class the other week.
4 in a row.
They were lazy. They just had like Bing. And it's like, what are we playing here? We're waiting for fucking card 2 that says chillin' or what? Like, I don't understand.
Alright, night guys.
Good night.
Night.
Good night. So yeah, I had to go back and look at a few like jump back to a couple of different sections. And I'm like, I remember that if they took it this way, I just had some notes sketched out on it.
I mean, I literally have spy weights for 1 note to load. How did this not fucking go off today?
Oh, because I had it all loaded before you jumped in. It was all ready to go.
What? That's right. I'm
What did I
already
miss
working
there?
on a list for next card. Like,
Oh, I see.
This is good. This is good. Think we might make a sub fucking channel in Discord. Ideas for next bingo cards. Like,
I think you should. You've got admin rights appearing.
I
Just do
think
as you
so,
will.
yeah. I love it.
I look forward to seeing it. No, that was fun. It was you did do some stuff I thought you would, but yeah, there was a couple others there that went, okay, they've come back to Ward. There was a
Breaking Ward's entire life.
That's right.
Yep.
You know, I couldn't even remember Ward's name. It's just fucking old mate.
Well, you
Ward's
kind of had
important.
some. Sorry, you go.
No, it's okay. Keep going. I'm just musing to myself.
No, I was to say you had some like reasonable rolls when you're doing your persuasions with Ward, but they hadn't quite tipped him over the edge. But the kind of babysitting service with Mish was a definite big step. Bit of a masterstroke that you came up with there that tipped things over towards like heading to where you got him to. So interested to see where that goes next.
Yes. I didn't think it would go back to the church or whatever.
And you the roll went well for the lesser restoration. So you got it on the 120, which was a good call, Lily. So the priestess rolled well on the lesser restoration and got at least some sort of positive outcome there.
Hell yeah!
You got a self-aware NPC. What did you say?
Breaking the game.
Semi-sentience. I like that phrase.
Semi-sentience.
And your little impromptu pep talk there was goddamn impressive.
Jake's
It
going
really
through some
was.
Yeah, it
stuff.
was.
It really was.
You just make that up.
I go
You
through
rehearsed
and any people in voice chats and Discord every single day. I do a daily that goes like along those lines of, "You're an amazing person. Nothing is set in stone. You can do whatever you put your mind to."
Nice. So you're practicing your daily affirmations. Jake was practicing his daily affirmations on Ward.
Exactly.
Nice work. It certainly seemed to help. All right, that was really fun. Like I said, there was some unexpected twists and turns, and yeah. You thank goodness for Alia and Zachary's roles on remembering stuff from things that you could piece together from what you observed down in the door.
Okay, I've got people getting restless in my chat. I should take off.
No,
Okay.
enjoy your stream.
Hey.
I gotta get some sleep.
Have an amazing night, because you all deserve it, and otherwise I'll fight you in the back of a Woolworths parking lot. Bye.
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 Yeah, better get back to Baldur's Gate.
You quick, get
I'm
back,
gonna go to
quick.
bed.
Or sleep.
I
You're
mean, sleep
playing
is a thing. It is a thing that we
Discord
do.
will tell me within minutes that you're playing Baldur's Gate, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I promise I won't see it because I'm going to go get that sleep.
Yeah, you got a cracker's week, man. I'm amazed that you made it this far.
Yeah.